Welcome to Kim's Tamale Making. This is the first time in a long time that we have actually taken pictures while doing this, so it could be dangerous. But we are on day one of making tamales with my family and friends. We have Parker, who's the new addition. Parker is, say hi. Say hi to the cameras. Okay. Hi. And Shelby, my lovely niece, who's going to help make them for the first time. And then there's my friend Drew, who's gonna make them with me for the second time in her life. So we're gonna start. So we have changed into our grubbies because this gets to be messy, but we're gonna start out with some prep today. And then the actual making the tamales will happen tomorrow. And it's always experiment. I don't care how many times I make them. They turn out a little bit different. But we'll give it a shot, and we're going to record a little bit at a time as we're doing different things. And then...
So, started off this morning with Kim roasting the meat in the roaster. What was the temp that you used?
I roasted it at 300 for about 5 hours.
And how many pounds of meat?
It was about 20. We'll have the number, or we'll have the recipe in the comments below.
Oh, okay. So it was a pork and beef combination, and here is the meat. We've taken it out of the roaster and put it into a roasting pan, and I'm going to start shredding it. And meanwhile, Brooke's over here. No, Brooke. Shelby. I'm sorry, got the wrong in-law.
Shelby's cleaning the chilies that we're getting ready to make the red chili sauce with. We have 4 pounds of those, so she's got a lot of work to do. Yep. And we start by cleaning them, get the seeds and the stems out, and then we will put them in water and simmer them on the stove. And I will show you that in a little bit. And then the other thing we're going to do today is prepare some of the masa, which we'll show you in a little bit also.
Okay, and we'll come back with that. Here we go. Cheers to our tamale.
Cheers. Masa base, which is being made with, this year we're going to do it with the Maseca flour, which is this one for tamales. I had a different kind too. It's a little softer grain. I think I like this one better. So next time I'll know to buy this one. But anyway, I'm taking and making 5-pound batches, and they consist of 48 ounces of water that I put in the bowl, and then 8 cups of the flour, and I'm mixing the two to make a big chunk that will look like this when it's done. And I put it in just the bags that you get at the grocery store. This is not what gets used for the tamales, but this is what goes in when after you make the lard that we'll do tomorrow. This is the base of it, and it's really just water and the flour. So, and I'm making 4 or 5 5-pound bags of it today for us to use tomorrow. Mix the flour with water again for preparing the masa for tomorrow. And it should be moist but not wet when you're done. And if it needs a little more, you can kind of tell when you kind of feel it. Feels a little wet, so I'll add a little more of the flour just to add like a scoop at a time to see if it gets a little better. Yeah, see, that's all it needed. And it'll look like that. And it's not really, you're not really beating it or anything, you're just really mixing it to make it just kind of take in the water. That's better. And then what I do is I weigh it just to make sure. It should be about 5 pounds, but I'll weigh it before I put it in the bag, just, or when I put it in the bag, you know, just so that I know. I like lay it here, try. Just to kind of knead it one time, just to get it together. Maybe add a little flour to my hands. So I guess technically it's a little more than 8 cups, right?
With the little additives that you did.
With a little bit, but so it just looks like this. So it looks like almost like a pie crust dough. Okay, and then I take and I use the trash, not trash bags,
The grocery bags.
grocery, like vegetables pile, grocery bags.
Those look new.
They are, I stole them from Safeway.
You just took a couple of them.
I did. I also take my masks. When I go to Home Depot, they give you free masks, so I always take one when I go. Because those things are ridiculous price. Okay, there you go. There you go. And then I weigh it. I just put it on here. Weigh it. 5 pounds. It's pretty close to accurate. All right, and there's 4. Perfect.
All right.
Here is the chilies after we've gotten rid of all the stems and seeds. Just threw those away, but this is the chili with the water. And now we will simmer this and get the chilies really soft before we do the next step, which is to puree them.
And we actually kept some of the tops because we're going to try to create some ornaments with those. So
You need me? I need
hopefully
to
that will happen.
get the drop
And
drips off of the
we
bottom.
have somebody over here. Hey, sweetie.
Get your
Hi,
stuff almost
Parker.
on the bottom.
Say hi. Smile. Smile. You're right
About
here.
done with making the chili, but we stopped. We're going to show you a little bit of what we do. This is the messiest part, I think, of tamale making. I'm going to pull the chilies out of the water that we've been cooking, put them in the food processor. And it's getting a little thin here at the bottom. We have made a lot already, but put some in here. And you don't want to overfill it, because if you do, if you look around, you'll see it. It'll overflow when you turn it on. So try to be easy on it. Then I throw in a couple cloves of garlic, some salt, and then a little bit of cumin. Not a lot because it's a small batch. I'm trying oregano. I've not done that before, but I'm doing a little bit of oregano. Some chicken broth, also new. We're not using the water from the chili this time. A little bit of pepper. What else to put in? Oh, and I'll put a little water. You don't need it. You want to make it so that it'll strain easily, so you don't want it too thick. You'll thicken it later.
And you'll start that one, and then we'll use the other one and pour it over. So we can see the other step. What are we
Where'd my
looking for?
lid?
Oh, it's in the sink. Remember, it fell.
Oh, okay. All
Or
right.
I caught it, but it fell.
And we'll put that on. Okay. All right, and then this is what the finished product.
Oh, I already have some in there.
Oh, now we'll get more. Okay. Just make sure these don't fall. And then you pour the chili. Whoops, not quite like that, but you know. This is Shelby's mixer. I don't know how to use it. Pour the chili in there, and then you kind of stir it around to let it strain through into the pot.
You can see the pot is filling down there. We've got some red sauce, basically the chili rojo or whatever they refer to it as. Enchilada and tamale chili. So that's the chili part of making chili sauce.
Good morning. This is cups of coffee. Me and Drew are the only ones left for the party. We have a couple celebrity guests coming later today. But we just wanted to recap what yesterday was and tomorrow. So we got the chili made, the red chili component that goes in the meat. We got that made. It's looking good. We made too much, but that's okay. We got the meat shredded. We made the masa base, which is what we'll put the lard in and goodies to make the masa that you spread on the husks. And what else did we do yesterday? I think that's it. Today, and we did add stuff, which we videoed, but we added extra stuff to the chili that I don't normally add, so it'll be fun to see if that makes a difference in the taste of the tamales. It'll probably be better. And we used chicken broth and fresh water instead of using the water from the chilies that we cooked on the stove, which is new for me too, but I'm sure can only make it good. We ended up with about 10 pounds of meat when it was all shredded, and that makes me a little nervous, but we'll see. And it started out as about 22 pounds, but the pork had bone in it, which I like. So just know that you end up with about 10 pounds of meat if you have like bone-in pork. I had boneless. What did I use? Boneless beef. I don't remember what kind it was. It chuck. It was something else. But it'll come out to about 10 pounds of meat when you're done. Anyway, the next steps then today are to prepare the hojas, which is the corn husks. We have to wash them, get rid of all the silks in them. I'll show you that. And then we'll separate the big ones from the small ones, and we'll only use the big ones if we have enough. Then we'll finish the chili, which we'll melt a little bit of lard in there. We have way too much chili. We'll see how that goes and make it a little thicker. And then we're going to put the chili into the meat. So we'll put the meat in a bowl. And the reason we're doing that is because we've got way more chili than we need, and I don't want to try to figure that out. I think we'll see. And then we're going to make the masa. The masa is going to be what we'll use the two mixers for, and that's where we'll mix the lard and the masa and some broth and other goodies, and then start putting them together. When our celebrity guests come, we'll start constructing the tamales and I don't know, margaritas or wine or something. Yesterday was fun. It was not too difficult. The messy part's over, I think. So we did a great job, and I'm glad Shelby got to be here with us, with Parker. And hope she gets to be here many, many, many years to come. Anything you want to add, Drew?
No. Let's just get the day going. That's what I say. Okay.
It's time.
All right.
It's tamale time.
And we'll come back on when we're assembling those tamales.
Yep, tamale time. One more thing. I have heard from a lot of my followers that I should have my hair in a ponytail to make sure that I don't get any of it in the tamales. And I just look at it as, if you get a tamale with one of my hairs in it, that's just my gift to you.
Here's the husk. They're soaking in warm water. That's another part of the project.
Hello? All right, we're getting started on day 2. We have our celebrity guests with us today. We have Leah and we have Louise.
Hello.
Leah is brand new at tamale making, but she comes from a family of tamale makers. She should be really good. And Louise has been here a couple times and has helped me make tamales, so she's an expert also.
No, not quite.
These are our celebrity guests for the day.
I make really ugly looking tamales.
No, you don't.
So this
And-
is shiny and this is
And we're cleaning the husks, and this is shiny.
not. Okay, got it.
And we're putting them in order of big ones at the very end of the table, and then the medium ones on one side, and then the small pieces on another side. So we can use the big ones first. That's the main goal, right? Anyway, so that's the plan.
Side up.
All right, we're getting ready to put the bone with that.
I swear I looked through all of those and got all the
We're
bone
putting the meat into the chili. I'll be doing that now, and it goes in here. You see in here? You see that? Okay.
out. We've put a roux in the chili to make it thicken
A little bit thickened, and we emptied out half the chili, more than half the chili, so we could just add the meat to it. I have to go through and get the clumps, so.
Okay.
But anyway, so now we're just putting the meat in, and then we'll stir it together, and at the end it'll be all, you'll see it at the end.
It'll be incorporated with the chili and
Yep.
the chili con carne.
Okay. All right. We have finished putting the meat in with the chili in the pot, and that is a lot. I think we underestimated. I think that we used a lot more of the chili than we thought we were going to, which is good. But this is about the consistency you want, where it's, where it's sticking to it, not too soupy, but moist enough. So we're ready for the next step. Our guests have been very good at getting the corn husks done, the hojas. They've laid them all out. These are the big ones. We're in a good shape for that. We got lots of big ones, and they're just wrapping this up so we can get ready. The next step is masa making. It's 11. It's time to start partying.
Come in,
Cheers.
Leah. Come in.
Cheers, Leah.
Okay.
All right. Cheers.
Okay, so we're going to make the masa, which they use on the tamales, and this is what we're going to do. Let me make you.
Oh, you're gonna do tamales.
Here you go. I'm setting the scale to 0, and I want to measure out 12 ounces worth of lard. Manteca, these are what we've used. I have 2 mixers working at one time, so I've already placed 12 ounces in that mixer. I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to throw it in to the other mixer. We're going to put these mixers down and get them going so they start whipping that lard up. I'm going to go ahead and set it probably on 4 right now. As it's mixing, we're going to add a few things to it. To begin with, we have to use 1 tablespoon of baking powder to 12 ounces of lard. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of baking powder into this one. And go ahead and measure out another 1 tablespoon. And we're going to add 1 tablespoon to this one. It's going to get going. Along with that, baking powder, 1 tablespoon. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of this garlic salt, and this garlic salt actually has parsley incorporated into it. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of, I'm doing this one-handed, otherwise so this is 1 tablespoon. And we're going to add it to the mixture. We're going to go ahead and do the same again. Oops. So a little bit more than 1 tablespoon. Let's level it off a little. Add 1 tablespoon to that. There's both 1 tablespoon. As that mixes and whips, we're going to go ahead and speed that up a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and slow that down just a bit. We'll slow it down to 1. Because now what we want to do is we want to add at least 1 to 2 tablespoons of chili. So this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and, here's the chili. I'm just going to pour an estimated 1 to 2 tablespoons
Oh, yeah.
in there. And you go ahead and pour 1 to 2 tablespoons in here. You want to have it on low because what happens is it's hotter.
The water.
So as it starts to mix a little and the lard has it kind of hard to get it to mix. Go ahead and mix and you'll see the lard is going to start turning like a pink color, orange color. So I'm going to turn this off for a second, scrape down the sides, and then we'll start up again and I'll show you what else needs to be done to get this masa. Back, we have masa, and we've already had them pre-made, and they come out to about almost, this one's at $4.15, but most of them are about 5 pounds. Oh, there you go, I had to move something. So they're about 5 pounds a bag, and we're only going to use half a bag, 2.5 pounds, for each of these mixers. So what I do is I go ahead and I put an actual piece of paper towel and I will measure out 2.5 pounds, and then actually then place that over by that mixer and leave the other here, and then I just go back and forth adding a ball at a time so that it's whipped and incorporated into the mixture that we made with the lard and the chili and the garlic and the baking powder. And I've added a little bit of broth, beef broth to that. So we'll continue to do this, and as it needs beef broth, the recipe Kim had said for 3/4 cups. So but I just went ahead and put 3/4 cups, and I'll go between each of them and add a little beef broth as needed. And we're looking for a consistency that's creamy, like whipped butter. So that's the consistency that we're looking for, and that's the end result that we will have an editor, like we have an editor bowl. So that's how we make our masa.
Okay, so we've been doing this for a while, but we're just going to videotape it now. But we're going to show how to make the tamale itself, how to put it together. Louise has been doing a phenomenal job of taking the husks and drying them off, because if they're too wet on the inside, then the masa doesn't stick well. But then you get a tamale husk and you find the waxy side or the shiny side, and you want that to where you put the masa. And then we use a big spoon, flat side, and I just take and put a chunk of masa on it and then spread it. This masa's a little drier. Spread it about 2/3 of the way on the husk, about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch, depends, but like a decent amount, but not too thick. And then once it's nice and evenly spread out so that it's all about the same top to bottom, then you take some of the red chili meat and you place it not quite to the bottom, because you want to be able to have corn on the bottom, and not quite to the top, but almost, with a handful of meat. And then we do an olive, nestle it, right? And then roll it and fold it up from the bottom, like so. And then we put it in the paper, and Leah takes it from there.
Bottom, side, top, roll.
Nice job. And we do that 240 times to make 20 dozen. All right, so then the last thing we do is we stack the tamales loosely in the pot and simmer them for about 1.5 hours, and then let them cool before you decide if they're done or not. The idea is to loosely put them in here. A big pot like this will hold about 3 dozen.
Okay, and once they're put in there, they go over to the stove, and like she said, how long are you simmering it for? You put them on high to boil, and then once they start steaming, you can lower the heat. That one doesn't. have any. We have a small pot down back here. Lower the heat. Time's up, turn off the heat and let them set for a while. Then they go over, we remove them, stack them, let them cool before we go to our packing stage.